Pretty cloudy out there, pretty cold. That hasn't changed, but we are still seeing some precipitation. Minor amounts, but something to talk about this morning, and really that's how the weekend's going to go. It's going to remain the same as far as the overall conditions, but every once in a while you get a little flare up of some precipitation. And for this morning, it's all snow, as temperatures are all below freezing in the entire column of air above the surface. So you've got two factions. They did sort of kind of merge together in the last hour or so. And some of these are light snow showers, but the majority of it is going to be flurries. So minor accumulations, if anything, most of it on the grass. You might get some on the roads, but to be honest with you, most of that is going to melt and then refreeze because of how cold it is out there. Looking at the upcoming pattern over the next few days, it's one low after the other, a parade of storms if you want to call it that. All of these are clippers. Clippers usually start and originate in the cold Arctic air of Canada, and as they dive through the Great Lakes, they ramp up precipitation in minor amounts. They don't bring a lot. They do bring cold air, but they don't bring a whole bunch of precipitation. Now, that being said, you can get some big ones, and we're going to track one coming up, that one in particular. But the next couple are just going to bring in a few shots of precipitation. Here's your one for the middle of the week, and that's the one we're going to be watching because as it ramps up, it's got a little bit more moisture to work with. And yeah, now we're talking about some decent rain or even snow chances coming up. But in the future track for today, notice how that's moving on as we get into the afternoon. That's those flurries this morning. Then we have another chance late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And this one's going to work with a little bit warmer air. So now we've got a chance for a rain-snow mix. Basically Interstate 64 and everybody north of that. You could get some along the two parkways, the Bluegrass and the Mountain Parkway, but everything south of that will likely stay dry throughout that event. Then into Sunday afternoon, we're keeping it dry. Monday, most of the day, we'll see clouds increasing. And then there's your next best chance for precipitation, maybe a quick hit of rain, but a better chance for some snow on the back end of that storm. And yeah, we could be talking about some decent sticking amounts. But before we get to all of that, let's just talk about the snow this weekend. And here's what you're going to be looking at. Anything 64 and north is traced to maybe half of an inch, but I think most of us stay within that tenth or 2/10 of an inch. If you're below 64, trace if any. I mean, you're getting it right now, but it's not really sticking. I'm talking about roads. This is not, the grass may have a little bit more, your windshield, the rooftops, but as far as the roads go, no, a lot of that is melting on contact and will refreeze. So once again, getting out to the long range model, a little quick hit of rain, some snow on the back end of that system, kind of a stall motion in the front. And that's why our eastern counties could pick up a little bit more throughout the morning on Wednesday, and then it's out of here. And Thursday, another little quick hit. So as you can tell, it's every once in a while, we're just getting these little pulses of precipitation. And yes, the air is super cold when they come through. So that's why it's snow when all of these systems kind of roll in and out. So for the next 3 days, you've got a few flurries this morning. Tomorrow, you've got a little bit of a rain-snow mix once again. Interstate 64 and north. On Monday, nice little warm-up. Upper 40s. We could even touch the low 50s in the southern counties. But it's what comes in after that that's going to feel, well, like end of January, I can promise you. We're into the mid-teens, down near 10 degrees for Thursday morning. We've got lows below zero, and then wind chills could likely put us into the negative teens. And we're talking about some decent cold coming up for the end of next week. Until then, just a little bit of a messy-ish weekend with some rain, some snow, and some cold air. More news after the break.